enough. All right, what did you do over the week?
What did I do over the week? Let's talk about what you did over the week, because I know you went to see Mr. Roger Waters.
The lovely Kim Marie and myself. Once again, John Livesey. Thank you to John Livesey, who set us up with some Roger Waters tickets. This show was outrageous, man. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was an unbelievable show, and I was a giant Pink Floyd fan when I was younger. And in '80, when the album came out, the original tour of The Wall was done in Los Angeles, done in New York City, and done in London, and that's it. And stories were that it was too expensive to bring it around. They couldn't mount a real giant tour of it. The tour lost money because of those three cities. I really think the real story behind the story is the band was breaking up at the time, and they just didn't want to commit to a large tour. They just didn't want to do this. So being able to see this show was unreal.
Mm-hmm. I actually got a text from the lovely Kim Marie. Probably it had to be only about 20 minutes into the show, and it was, "This is the best show I've ever seen." She was all about it.
You know, and Kim and I, we talk about it all the time. We see a lot of shows. Mm-hmm. You see a lot of shows.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen just about every monumental act that you can name. Mm-hmm. This really was awe-inspiring, and the way it was presented, it was presented. I mean, theatrically, the sound was perfect, and we've had this conversation on the show before, where just all the sound problems that they have at these modern shows drives me insane. This sound was absolutely perfect.
You weren't subwoofered out?
No,
it was like we've been in the past.
And you know what? It's the same arena where we were just subwoofered out.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. So you know that it's not the arena. A sound man that knows what they're doing, mm-hmm. and a sound company that knows what they're doing can actually put on an incredibly high fidelity show there. And it's. Josh, I can't even describe it. I'm actually at a loss of words.
Is that a tear in your eye? Are you going to be okay?
Yes, it's a tear in my eye. But it was great. And you know something that, once again, reiterating what we've talked about, it's the old acts that are selling out. It was sold out capacity. Uh-huh. I was a little shocked. I got to be honest with you. I was a little shocked at the rudeness of the crowd, though.
Really?
Yeah.
I see that Pink Floyd is sort of becoming one of those bands that the younger kids flock to, and I don't know if it's just, Pink Floyd's cool, so it might be something like, was it a lot of younger folks? It wasn't the young kids, though. It wasn't?
The rude folks were the older people, really? My age and plus, who just showed up completely wasted out of their mind, and I was surprised. I really was surprised at that.
I've seen that at shows before, and it is very unnerving to see a band that's putting on a great show and stuff, and then the person next to you is just being rude, or there's a lot of people being rude, and I know it can take away from a show, so it is disappointing when that happens.
I almost think that Roger Waters, to a certain degree, likes that, and what I mean by that is the show is obviously a strange show. They're building a wall that's eventually erected between the band and the audience, so that in and of itself is weird. Yeah. But I almost think that they want this kind of a agitated audience through this for some reason.
You think so?
Yeah, it seemed that way to me. I'm not 100% sure, but I'll tell you what. I am glad I got to see it, and it definitely is the best live show I've ever seen in my life.
Really?
Oh yeah,
you're gonna go that far?
Yeah, and he's not a front man. I mean, it was a theatrical event. It was like seeing Cats or something. I actually thought it'd be funny if it ends up on Broadway or ends up. It should be somewhere stationary where you come see it.
That would be cool. I know there's been a lot of music stuff on Broadway. We've been talking about that U2 thing that they're doing.
Yeah.
And Green Day's doing that, their thing, American Idiot. Yeah. So that'd be cool if they did a wall thing on Broadway.
I think it needs to be at a stationary spot. Mm-hmm. And even, Josh, there were 200 guys on stage building the stage while the show was going on. I mean, this is a giant, I think 27 tractor trailers to bring this thing from city to 27 to bring it from city to city.
We can go on about this all day, but I know we got to take a break, and I know you got to wipe those tears from your eyes.
I do. We're going to take a small commercial break, and on the other side of the break, we're going to have The Froth in studio. Stick around, folks. Heard it on the X.